Today, we'll understand how middleware works, the difference between application level middleware, and implement a real world bearer token authentication example.
In this, I installed two packages, Express and Node.js. So I create fresh file where I use console.log. Today's talk about middleware demo. So I just supposed to write this and I add the command that is start nodemon index.js. Now nodemon index.js and I npm start. I run this command npm start. So my project is running. So first I want to create such API and then I call that middleware in this. So I need to delete this and import express from express. Now after Express.js we want to use this, so I just create const from express. I want port number as a variable, suppose 3001. Then what to do? I want to create such a API, so I just use app.get basic API, that is slash welcome. For example, welcome, or we can say it's user. Okay. So suppose to I create request response and prepare that API that gives the response.json and then inside give message success and data, that is user. So I prepare the fresh API that user and it lists the user ID and I run this project, listen port number, then I supposed to write console.log server with port number and this way. Even I want to write localhost this http colon this. Is it fine? So I have written this line of code and here the import statement. Yes, I want to change in package dot there is a type module. Is it done? Now project is running. I just open this project with a user. So suppose to I open in a browser. Later on we can do this in our postman as well. Localhost colon 3001 slash user. So my API is calling. Now what to do? In this, I want something which is like for now it is simple API. I want to add the middleware. So what is a middleware? So question arises in our mind. So middleware is basically function which calls when we call the routes, we implement the middleware. So there are types of middleware where you can implement. That is the application level, which is the whole applications, the middleware calls. Built-in middleware, which is you may use, for example, app.use, and suppose you want to use that JSON data only comes. So this is built-in middleware. This is one of the example for built-in middleware. Now I want to use single application level middleware and another one is route level middleware. So three types of middleware we supposed to do the example. So I prepare app.use and here I want to pass the middleware. So how can I make this possible? So I need to make that function. So I prepare function that is logger and in a logger I use request, response and next. In this I need to pass that what I really wants to see. So I suppose to use method and URL I want to check. If you want to store that method URL or IP store in a file, then you can write the file writing code as well. But right now I just do the console log. So I just show you how this middleware function will call when I call any API. So for now I have one API and suppose to I use this console dot log request dot method and URL, and I give the next. So middleware calls whenever I use this user endpoint. So that is app.use and logger will call. Make it save. I just call that API. So I call that API and my middleware is run. Now I supposed to create another route app.post, for example, that is slash user slash store, for example, store. Then request response, and in this I supposed to write response.json. In JSON, I want to set message success and data is E, then one test, whatever. I have written this JSON, and suppose there is no issue, it's fine. I missed something. That is one. Okay, it's fine. No, I just remove the statement. Then no worries. I read similar statement for this JSON response. Now put here. So this is somewhat I prepare the function and call it with this JSON. Still, what is missing? Expected arrow function. It is correct. Post, then res. It's fine. So there is space is required. So I suppose to create this post request. I open the postman. If you want to use the post, otherwise get also be fine. So I call the post via postman that user slash store. So I write localhost with post method and call this. So how we can make this post 3001 user slash store user slash store, and I call this. So when I call this, so data will come, and here you can see this post user. So both endpoints will work with this our middleware. Now suppose to I want to create the authentication middleware. Somewhere you want to plan this API calls without specific application level, and second middleware I want to plan for specific URL base. So if the user is login, then only that URL or API will calls. So how we can plan this? So I prepare another middleware function. So that function is function auth. In auth, I suppose to write request, response, and next. In this, I just have to write that const token equals to headers authorization, right? So I will receive that tokens from the headers parameter. If that token equals to and barrier token may 1 2 3 4 5 6, and suppose to I write that function if token comes in a headers authorization with barrier 1 2 3 4 5 6, then it goes next. Otherwise, it gives an error. What type of error it shows? It shows response dot status. Status is 401, so it is failed. And message is whatever you want to give the message. I give success is false and message is unauthorized. So suppose I give that message. If token comes, then it gives next. So then that API will work. Otherwise, that will receive unauthorized. So now what to do in this? I just add that function auth between my first route, between the route URL first, then my middleware, and then my closer, that my function. So I put with this post, one is logger already be there because of application middleware. Now we talk about that route level middleware, where you can see you can plan that route level middleware. So I just supposed to use that middleware auth in a route. How could I check this? So I make it save and run this with authorized in a header authorization, and barrier is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So let's recheck. So first I call without token, so that is unauthorized. Now with authorization, so here I have authorization, I select barrier token, and in a barrier token I suppose to add that 1 2 3 4 5 6, because barrier I think word will be there. So this is successfully done. If I change the token, so it will response incorrect, but I give the correct token, so it will work. So my authentication also be work with this simple middleware. Now if you want to store this middleware somewhere else and you want to import this here, so this is also possible. How you can make this? So I just save, this is my middleware function, middle middleware folder. In middleware folder, there is a auth.js. Auth is my function, and here I write export default something, or export is enough. This is done. So my auth function will export from here, and I supposed to use import auth from dot middleware, then auth .js. So my auth comes here and I use here. So in this way, it also works. So here it doesn't export works. So for example, we can write in another way. Export default. I think this way also we work. Say it takes a little time. So once this auth is export from here, and it will import at that place, so that will work. So I import here, still export default doesn't work. Module, okay, default word is required, so I can make this in this way. Export, this is fine. Now it is name default. It's work perfectly. Now here we import this, and here I'm using it. Again we check. So here it works. I just remove this. It doesn't work. So this is somewhat how we can plan this middleware with application level, and second one, it is route level. So both the middleware, I give the demo. You just go through it and check out. Thank you.